Well, a very good morning and welcome to the final instalment of the 2014 Swix Ski Classics Challenge and the sixth and final part of the swing that has seen the competitors showcase their talents in 5 different countries. Have descended once again in Sweden for the second time for the llsloppet. Well, after a tough season, it really has come to an end for the majority of the skiers of all various prizes, individually and team-wise, to be handed out at the conclusion of the race. I'm Errol Creary and I'm very pleased to be joining me once again in the commentary booth is Krista Skog, the former Swedish Australia as well as a Great Britain coach. And Krista, it has been an up and down season ski classics wise, with many courses struggling with a lack of slope and some undue weather conditions. But on a positive note, we have seen some wonderful races with some surprising results, especially on the men's side.
Yes, and it really starts like it's finished like it started. With the sunny weather and nice condition. It has been cold tonight, so it's pretty firm, especially the first 10k, but then it's going to be slower and slower and warmer today. But interesting race, especially with the girls now when we have Charlotte Kalla and Emma Wikén and Kerttu Niskanen in the race today. So it's going to be full speed from the start, I believe.
Well, there's the competitors for Sarana Bonnet, Charlotte Kalla, Emma Wikén, as well as Niskanen of Team Centric. Now you wonder whether she'll rise or fall to that extra competitive nature in the women's start list today, Bonnet. Will she be pushed all the way by Kalla? Will she rise to the occasion? That's the million-dollar question, and all of those questions will be answered at the conclusion of this race. There is the starting gun. It is the women 15 minutes ahead of the men that get the final instalment of the Swix Ski Classics 2014 up and underway. And Krista, as you've rightly said, it is a difficult uphill task at the start of this race and a tough corner for the skiers to navigate at the start.
It looks like the team-centric skiers, they shoot in the first part there to just double pole, and maybe that shows that they start doing the same as Susanne Nyström, start number 103 and going without grip wax. But it looks like it's a good conditions here. It's good and nice track. And it's not going to be like a big group staying together. We're going to see quite early here. It's going to be smaller groups during the race, and I expect that it's going to be the same actually in the men's race later on. It's not like llsloppet where you had sometimes 100 skiers who are skiing together. It's going to be during different part of the track that some skiers are better to do that part than the others, and that makes the big split. And also we have free sprint prizes that also always raise the speed, and some people drop off just before those sprints. Looks like even Serena Boner, she didn't go without grip wax in Marcialonga, and that was not so good for her, I think. That's why she lost so much in the downhill to the Russian girl.
Oh, what a picturesque start line it is here in Åre. Edsorsdalen, a beautiful town here. A skier in the Åre area of Jämtland County. Around 10 runs and 5 lists for downhill skiing on the southern slope of the Rennfället. If you are in the area, get yourself down here. Enjoy a spot of skiing. This resort here in the north of Sweden is absolutely perfect. 3 prepared cross-country tracks with lengths of 3.5 kilometers. It just doesn't get any better.
Historically, this area for like in the 50s and even in the 40s, lots of skiers, this area they went up to train for skiing, and also runners and rowers and other sportsmen was up in Vålådalen, and it was a big center for training, endurance training in Sweden for many years.
Well, logistics wise, it just doesn't get any better really. easily accessible, just 8 kilometers away from the E14 that takes you into Norway. So if you are across the border, come in, join the party. The final instalment of the 2014 Swix Ski Classics is up and underway, and 60 kilometers to go. Good to see that the pack is relatively still bunched together, but the front line has changed over hands already in the opening 3.5 minutes of this race.
I see a team-centric skier. She has been on the outside the whole time and tried to get the pole position, and now when she went up there, tried to get in, and I can't see yet who it's having the lead here.
Bonner still neatly positioned in second place, and that's where she'll want to stay. Keep all the competitors behind her if she can, perhaps. She is just 90 points as we speak ahead of Laila Kveli of Team Centric. Suzanne Nyström also of Team Centric, 455 points. That'll be a tough ask for the Swede, perhaps, to overturn Bonner today.
I think actually it's Britta Johansson now that's are up there in the lead. And she's one of those skiers that can do well in the long loppet race, but she's also good World Cup skier and a good sprinter too. And that's something that has happened this season, that many sprinters has started to ski long races and doing well, especially in the men's race. We see with Jon Christian Dahl and Johan Kjølstad and those sprinters. And today in the men's race we have Jesper Modin and Theodor Pettersson. Theodor took a silver medal in the Olympics in sprint. He's racing today for Team Centric. Team Centric, I think they are really eager now to get the games close here with United Bakeries that has a couple of victories today this year.
Well, they really have dominated proceedings the last 3 years, Team Centric. The winners, of course, last year, and they won it by a considerable distance. Not so as we speak, in second place behind Team United Bakeries. So a lot of incentive on the women and the men's side for Team Centric to do well this morning.
And I really like this, that they have the girls start 15 minutes ahead of the men's race, because here we can follow the girls in a good way and see the race better than it is when they start in a big group together with the men, and sometimes you see a girl in that group.
Well, we cruise down from the helicopter now to the cameras on the ski mobile, and what a picturesque scene it is here, Krista.
And it's Olga Rotcheva who has the lead now, a Russian girl that has been skiing both in the Olympics and the World Cups, and she skis for the Russian marathon team.
Well, the Russian marathon team really have been a surprise package so far this season, a relatively new team. If you are new to the Ski Classics Challenge, only the second season of the Russian team.
There's Daniel Tunnel, and now hopefully I can see what he used it now. I can see if he had, looks like he didn't have any grip wax on his skis.
Well, it's been a disappointing season for Daniel Tunnel. His brother, of course, won La Daganella in Switzerland, the first race of the season. Just the two brothers representing Team Tunnel, Team Centric, as well as Team Coop, as well as Team United Bakeries, all heavily bloated with regard to skiers in their ranks. So much competition on the men's starting line this morning, Krista. Lucas Bauer, Chris Jespersen, Daniel Rickardson, as well as the two men in first and second place. Will this be team tactics involved today for Team United Bakeries?
Yeah, and also, as he said, it means a lot for them to win, like the sprint bib today, and also, of course, the overall bib. So it's going to be interesting to see what the tactics are, and also Team Coop. I mean, they have chance here for the sprint bib, and lots of teams that have big. It's so quite open. Even if there have been 4 races this year, it's hard to say who's going to win. And some new good skiers coming up, younger skiers. Before last year, it was only older skiers that are around 40 years old that were winning the races, but now younger group of skiers coming on. Especially they come from the sprint World Cup sprinters that start to do the long loppet races. Sounds a bit strange for people, many, but it is a bit the same. You don't go for maximum. You don't need extremely high VO2 max to do long loppet races. You need to have a good endurance, and of course you need to have a good sprint. Jürgen Brink, we saw that with start number 5. He's also one of the favorites. He always go with grip wax, and he's going to be up there in the front after the first uphill. Together, I believe, with Lucas Bauer, and of course a lot of Norwegians. This season has been the Norwegian season is long loppet races. It's only the only one that has been Norwegian has been winning the race. It was Rickard Tunnel in the first race. But when we look at the overall standings so far, it's Norwegian flag all over.
Well, the men's race is up and underway here. Much more heavily congested on the start line as it was for the women. And as the race has been shortened to 61 Ks, a good start is of paramount importance. We saw in the first race of the season at La Daganella, Rickard Tunnel opened up a huge gap. Of course, that course was at altitude. He maintained that gap even though he was being hunted down at the end. Stayed strong to see it through. Team Coop currently in 3rd position in the team standings. Now, it's a strange position for Team Coop. They've been somewhat disappointing on the men's side. Oscar Svard, of course, Bill Impola and Jimmy Jonsson have been nowhere to be seen with regard to getting themselves on the podium, and it has been on the women's side, Sarana Bonnet, that has earned most of the points so far for Team Coop this season.
It seems like Stanislav Rezak, as usual, he is, wants to be up in the front, and probably it's a team order that he's going to be going hard from start here for Team Centric. And then the sprinters get a easier race, and then they're coming up where it starts to be a sprint. The first sprints up in Trillevallen.
Well, you touched upon at the start line Jürgen Brink of Team Lease Plan Go. He just about made it to the start of this race. Anders Södergren, of course, he's not here. They have been sick, both of them, since after the Swedish Championships. Touch and go whether they'd make it here. And one out of the two did. But good to see Lucas Bauer also in the race for Team Coop. They need the points, and they really couldn't have had a more experienced campaigner in their ranks, perhaps to get more points on the board.
But the one person we haven't talked so much about before start is Jens Eriksson, start number 16. He won last weekend the Swedish Championships up in Åsarna on a course quite similar to this course here. It's a hard, tough course where it was no chance just to double pole it. And now it's Daniel Tunnel going up there in the front. His shape hasn't been so good since after Vasaloppet. Got a cold and got sick a bit and did really poor in the Swedish Championships last weekend. And I think that it was nearly good for him that they couldn't race the Birkebeiner race because of the strong winds.
Well, so good to see such a wonderful turnout today here in Åre for the final race of the season. Of course, the capacity will be heavily weighted with the introduction of Charlotte Kalla. Such a legend, so young, just 26 years of age, Charlotte Kalla. And her medals tally at home, as well as her trophy cabinet, is swelling with every season that she dons a pair of skis. The second edition of the Åre llsloppet. As we switch back to the women's race, and no surprises to see that it is Sarina Bonnet and Charlotte Kalla in 1st and 2nd place.
Yeah, it's free ski that they can see them there, but it's they have a higher pace now, those three girls, and as we said before, it's the skiers that has been in the World Cup, and this type of track suits them really well because it's It's nearly 11k the first uphill.
Well, first uphill, as he's rightly said, 11k before they swivel back round to the start line. Edsor Starland, and that is where we go back to the original part of the course here in Aura. If you have just tuned into our coverage and missed the start of both the women's and the men's race due to a lack of snow and warm weather conditions here in the north of Sweden, this race, the second edition, is usually 75 kilometres. It has been shortened today to 61. And good to see that it is a race here that everybody can enter, professionals as well as amateurs. And everybody here enjoying the fun and enjoying what is an Indian summer, it has to be said here, even in Scandinavia. 21 different pro teams involved in the event this season of the Swix Ski Classics. And it is a challenge here that just goes on from strength to strength, it has to be said. We're now going live to 73 different countries around the world. And let's hope for next year that it will be even better.
And the pace is extremely high from the start. You see it's two skiers that skiing fast in the front, and it looks like some of the teams maybe have the tactics here to go fast for the first uphill and win the first sprint.
Everybody jostling for positions.
And it's a Finnish skier that are in the front. His name is Ari Lusua and he's at number 72.
A little bit of airtime, a bit of coverage for perhaps the back runners of the race who don't usually get the points as well as prizes and get themselves housed on the podium.
And Lucas Bauer, of course, is up there from the start. I think this is his chance to get a small group going away from the start. But it's also, we don't know what his role is in Team Coop today, what he's going to do to help other skiers.
Well, it's been a while since Lucas Bauer has completed a course of this magnitude, I should say, 61 Ks. Of course, such an established skier at all levels, Lucas Bauer. Silver in the 2006 Olympic Games in Turin in the 15 kilometres classics, as well as 2 bronze medals in the 2010 Olympics in Vancouver. Representing Team Coop today and looking like he just wants to stretch the pack out here, Krista.
Yeah, he's going strong here, and then of course everyone knows that he is one of the fastest skiers in this part of the race. But the other skiers that has chosen to go without grip whack, they can still follow him even if he goes so fast in the uphill.
It's clear to see
And
there.
now it's only Serena Bonner and Charlotte Kalla in the front.
Well, you have to wonder how long that Kalla can keep this up. She's such a gutsy, determined skier.
Surprised me a bit that Kerttu Niskanen can't follow here from the start. And also Emma Wikén, but Emma Wikén is always a slow starter, and even in shorter races, and she's coming at the end, and she knows this area quite well because she lives not so far from here in Åsarna, and she has probably have been training in this type of this area a lot.
Well, what a Winter Olympics it was for Charlotte Kalla. In the relay competition for Sweden. Ran the final leg, started in third place with a 25.7 second deficit behind the first place. Still managed to fully reduce that gap and overtake the competitors in the final straight, leading her country, Sweden, to a gold medal. She was nowhere to be seen, but she just shows what a competitive spirit she has. And here she is now, just taking over the lead. 54.3 kilometres to go. And it is the 2 skiers that we expected to be at the front that are there. Can she keep this up, Charlotte Kalla?
I think she can actually. I mean, they're training so much, and they train on those long, they often ski like 50k during one training session, and sometimes they go out and ski 20k after that too. So she is in shape, has shape enough to do it. But she said before that she has, of course, respect to race on a track, so such a long track like this.
She's 26 years of age now. Used to skiing sprints. 30 kilometres is usually her limit. What more is there to come from Charlotte Kalla in her career?
Of course, the world champs next year are in Sweden, in Falun, and that may be one of her biggest goals in her life, to ski on a home track like this in Falun. It's going to be fantastic, and that's why she's going to be. And this year has been a fantastic year for her. Still a big pack here. They have skied like 3-4K, but it's high speed. And now it looks like Jörgen Aukland is up there. He skis like he does, but I can't see the bib, so I'm not sure, but it could be him, but it's a team-centric skier.
Well, it was Jörgen Aukland who in fact won last year in this event in Åre. 3 hours 21 minutes, just ahead of his brother Anders in second place. So Jens Eriksson also shortly behind in third in the results last year. And there is Jörgen Aukland, the current leader, right on cue.
He hasn't done so well this year, but now he looks strong. Here Lucas Bauer, now it's a United Bakery skier trying to catch Lucas. And he's tall, so it looks like Jon Christian Dahl.
Well, Jon Christian Dahl, of course, in his interview posted that he may not be on the podium at the end of this race, but it is the sprint challenges that he's got his mind set on, and that is perhaps why at this point of the race he's beginning to make his move, as the men shortly will approach the 11 kilometres mark and the first of the sprint challenges.
And he closed that gap quite quickly. It was 10 seconds for a while that Lucas had, but Jon Christian, he in the green bib closed that, and he wants to have that first sprint, of course, especially the points he gets there.
See the two different techniques there by the two leaders, going slightly uphill on the incline. And he's struggling there, Jon Christian Dahl. Didn't look quite as smooth going uphill as he does on the flat terrain. Now he's looking a little bit more comfortable.
It's tough for him when it's such a steep parts, but as soon as it gets a bit flatter here, maybe he can catch that gap again.
Well, this part here in Åre really has been transformed over the last 4 years or so. Alpine plant was put in before the millennium with 10 lifts and over 20 extra skiing runs here. 12 red runs, a couple of green pistes, as well as 5 black runs if you are a skiing enthusiast. It was in 2012. They've had some extra drag lifts as well as a parabel lift bars extended in as well.
And she won the sprint up here, even if it's not sprint prizes for the women's, as I understand. They only have that for the men's race.
Well, there we are, 1, 2 and 3, Abona, Niskanen as well as Kalla.
Utan Staver and Emma Wikén. Just that we should, maybe not Staver, I expected to be in that group, but
Well, Wikén, Krista, plus 35 seconds behind now. She did make her way to the front just 15 minutes ago. I wonder what's happened to her.
yeah. But and here we have Maria Rydqvist, also skis well in World Cup skis races. And that guy, he's not in the race. Probably working for some of the teams up here, giving drinks. You need to have a lot of people involved in the team to support them with drinks and extra pulls around when they have a course like this. Easier to support skiers in a World Cup where you have different lopes when you're coming into the stadium, and you're sometimes not more than a couple of k's away from the stadium. Here you are 30k away from the stadium, and you don't have roads up here. You need to have ski-doos or ski up. Laila Kveli is up there, 10th place.
And one person we haven't spoken about or touched upon yet, Chris Jespersen, finishing in 6th place in the 15k classic cross-country race at Sochi, and got himself on the podium at the recent Tour de Ski race. He's been sick since the Olympics. This is his first race back. I wonder if he's in that closing pack, Krista, or if he is one of the back runners.
Lucas, look here. He looks like he didn't want to win this race, this first sprint, because he has another Team Coop skier behind that wanted to win the sprint.
Oh, there's John
But
Christian
he took
Dahl.
it. He wanted to Djupvik to win because he wanted to have this sprint points instead.
Oh,
Sure, stays
incredible
up
here.
there.
We saw team
Oscar-
tactics there at its best or at its worst. You decide. Incredible.
Oscar Svärd is up there, and Bill Coop, Team Coop skiers doing well here now again, and the Aukland brothers. But you see how spread out. Even Daniel Rickardsson is 21 seconds behind.
I've expected John Christian Dahl to be there or thereabouts, and he was. There it is on your screen, viewers, the first Ski Classic Sprint Challenge of the day. Oh, they're just 16 minutes ahead of the men now.
And now we have Britta Johansson up there again. She is closing up this gap. So there are 4 girls in the top now.
Wow, fantastic here
So
for Team Ski Pro-Am.
Good for Britta that she has such a good skis down the hill so she could catch up with them.
Well, here we are at the starting point again. 25.6 kilometres at Edsorsdalen. It's good to see we have 4 ladies now in the leading pack.
Yeah.
Touch of extra spice here. This is the last race of the season. Well, how comfortable is Kalla looking now? Is she looking as comfortable as she was 30 minutes ago? Certainly looks smooth still. Exactly, just a quick look over the shoulder there of John Christian Dahl. Well, he's moved across, he's in the lead. No surprises to see him determined to keep that vest as we're about to hit the second sprint challenge here of the race, the second of 3.
It's number 37, Fredrik Byström, is up there in the top, and this is a bit surprised. He's done an extremely good race so far. But it's the Vasa winner, John Christian Dahl. He's winning this easily. And Kjellstad, number 3. So again, good for the United Bakeries.
Well, that man again, he's risen to the challenge again, John Christian Dahl, for the second time today. And that is another 30 points he scored for himself as well as his team.
Here comes Lukas Bauer, who was winning the first sprint. And Anders Aukland is good skiers that are not far behind the leading group. So it's not a problem for them. It's more tactic-wise it's a problem. They don't know really how fast can they go, and they don't know how the body reacts when they are out such a long time. It's 1:43 they have been out, and it's nearly 1 hour more to go.
I mean, with regard to Sarana Bonnet, she's in the leading pack and she's leading the women standing. Laila Kveli in second place is nowhere near the leading pack. Does she settle for third place or does she go for the win here?
She goes for the win, for sure. I think so. She wants to win here. But now Rickardsson is really going for it too. And as I said before, he is not a bad double polar. Even if he doesn't do this type of races so much. He's doing the World Cup and Olympics so on. But everyone that knows Daniel knows that on a flat part he has really good speed. And that he really showed when he won the Holmenkollen 50k.
We can see just how much upper body strength he has there. Square shoulders, almost like a swimmer, Daniel Rickardson.
Yes.
Power involved, and as you said, he is a wonderful double polar. Well, 1 hour and 45 minutes so far gone for the men. We're just about over the midway point. Remember, this course has been shortened to 60 kilometres. 3 hours 21 minutes was the winning time last year. Time will be bettered, and as you see, there is a bit of a gap there. He's now beginning to chisel out.
Yeah, this is serious.
Well, unable to win 3 out of 3, John Christian Dahl. That really would have been a tough ask. That would have been a real fantastic day at the office if he were to do it. He isn't, but is he going to finish in second place and perhaps get a vital 20 points for Team United Bakeries? This could play into their hands here because they need to stay ahead of Team Centric. Remember, it was under 100 points at the start of this race. And so far, John Christian Dahl has got a maximum 60 points so far from the sprint challenges. A second place would get him another 20 points perhaps. But it is in fact his teammate who looks like he's going to get second place. So he's just making a move here, Christian Dahl. Is he going to get second? Indeed he does. Well, what a second place that could turn out to be. Those 20 points could make the difference here.
Amazing to United Bakeries to line up for the sprints the whole time and get the sprint points. So now after this it starts to get pretty good downhill. Easy skiing. The hardest part is done now. $20K to go. It's 1 hour to go now. Under 1 hour because it's pretty easy down. We're not so far now from Norway, from the border. Here's the closest point to the border. Many Norwegians from Trondheim area go up to Åre to do downhill skiing.
The Norwegians have dominated proceedings in the men's standing so far. Not so on the women's. As it is, as we speak, 2 hours and 10 minutes gone in this race here. We have a Swiss skier in front in the form of Serena Bonner. A Swede in second place, Charlotte Kalla, and a Finn in third in the form of a Niskanen. So, still plenty of action left in the race as we swing back to the leader of the men's race, Daniel Rickardson of Sweden.
And the gap getting bigger and bigger, I think.
Well, he's had another look over the shoulder, and indeed that gap has stretched out even further. Downhill now for Rickardson, and this is where he excels.
And what a season for Rickardson with the Olympic gold medal winner in the 50K in Holmenkollen. I think that is the biggest race after Tour de Ski to win for the World Cup skiers. And now he's close to win llsloppet. We don't know yet.
Well, we've seen plenty of people open up a lead so far, Krista, and they've been caught. llsloppet almost at La Daganella, most definitely in Koenig and Ludwig Lauf. This will be the cherry on top of proceedings if Rickardson were to hold on to this lead and win, as we are currently looking at the chasing pack behind the leader.
Now it seems like Serena has lost Kalla and Niskanen. But she's not far behind, it's only a couple of seconds. But where is Britta?
Well, as it looks like, she's nowhere to be seen. But I mean, the distance with regard to the men and the women is almost simultaneously together. 13.7 Ks now.
And here Charlotte Kalla has gone away, looks like, from Kerttu Niskanen. Yes. She has a gap now for 3:54 seconds.
Wow, amazing to think, even at this stage of the race, she has the power and the will to win, to pull out a gap. We all expected her to fall away at least after 45 kilometres. Well, it's been anything but. So we are in for a barnstorming grandstand finish here in Åre, as this man is getting closer to taking the winner's ribbon here. For everybody concerned here in this part of the world, it is going to be a Swedish victory, as it was in the first race of the season at La Daganella in Switzerland, when Rickard Tunnell got himself a maiden victory. And it looks like it's going to be another Swede who is going to put the cherry on top and end proceedings here. And there it is. That is going to be wrapped around his neck sometime soon, with 1.5 Ks to go here. Daniel Rickardsson of Sweden is going to delight the public here in the finishing line, and it is going to be a victory that he thoroughly deserves.
A fantastic skier, Daniel Rickardsson. He has such a great technique and he's strong. He can also do well in some sprint racing, especially in classic, and he can do well in long distance races like this. He can do well in the flat courses, he can do in hilly courses. He's really a good skier. It's only 1.3 K to go for him now. Now he knows for sure that he's going to win this race.
Well, he's been in 4th/5th gear for pretty much the last 30 minutes. He can now cruise down, perhaps not into neutral, but first and then perhaps second as he gets ever closer to winning this race. There's the chasing pack, and now there's a gap between 2nd, 3rd and 4th as it is to 5th.
It's a United Bakery skier, has problems there.
It looks like it's John Christian Dahl. Has he run out of petrol? Perhaps he's on empty. Who knows? 1 kilometre to go. Look at that. You can hang your head out of your balcony and join in the action, perhaps.
So that means that Johan Kjellstad is going to win for sure overall this season's Ski Classic. I think I can see a smile on Daniel's mouth now.
Well, that smile will get even bigger in the next 120 seconds, perhaps, maybe 180.
I'm so happy for Daniel's to win this too.
Well, you can see the finishing line is almost there. Again, it is a race that he deserves. He was the one who made the move to bridge the gap, and the others weren't good enough.
And it's finished this Ski Classic like it started, with when Rickard Tunnell went away and won the race by himself, and exactly like now Rickardsson is doing today.
And glorious sunshine here in Åre. After 2 hours and 43 minutes of tough skiing here in the final chapter of the 2014 Swix Ski Classics. This man is almost there, way ahead of last year's time. That is down to the course being shortened to just 61 kilometres this year. He is just a few strides away from taking another victory and another gold medal in what so far has been a very successful skiing season for Daniel Rickardsson. You can hear the cheers, you can hear the claps, you can hear the applause. He is going to be the winner here in the final here in the Åre llsloppet.
That's amazing, that's really good.
The crowd are going to enjoy this.
Interesting now is to see the sprint. Who's going to win the sprint for those 3 skiers? I mean, normally it should be actually Johan Kjølstad, the best sprinter, but Anders Aukland has a pretty good sprint too.
And there it is. He can look around, he can completely click down the gears, ears off the gas, and doesn't even need to use the poles. 2 hours 44 minutes 41. The winning time here for Daniel Rickardsson of Sweden, and a fight here to the end for who's going to get second, third and fourth. Team Centric looking good, as it says, number 1 and number 3 on their vests respectively.
And Kjølstad's probably changing track soon here. Now try to get out so he has free way to go.
Well, is he going to settle for third? He's looking to score points for his
No,
team.
he's
He's
coming.
just moved across. Has he timed his move to perfection? Is he going to get second?
No, it's tough for him. Anders is strong today. Oh,
Moved across
no.
again, and no, it looks like he's going to settle for fourth. Oh, look at the agony. It's etched all over his face.
Now Kjølstad is coming, but has he power enough to get... Yes, it looks like it's going to be Kjølstad. Or is it Anders? Resak, second, good.
Well, he gave it his all.
Yeah.
And look at him on the floor.
It was
He
good
put
for team.
everything into the finish there, but he just didn't have enough kilometers to go. Oh, Stanislav Rezak of Team Centric, what a good day he's had.
That was good with points for Team Centric.
It was.
Second and third.
It was. Oh, John Christian Dahl in fifth place. He's got a smile on his face, a puff of the cheeks from the Norwegian. Well, we need to tally up all the points to see where the final standings are going to be.
And then we got a new winner today again. So 5 winners in 5 races.
It is, well, fantastic. Look at him. What a good day at the office it was for Daniel Rickardsson. Oscar Svard as well from Team Coop, saving his best till last, a 6th place finish there.
So with me here I have llsloppet's winner today, Daniel Rickardsson from Team Helsing. Congratulations, Daniel. Tell us about your race today.
Yeah, it was a tough race. It was tough from the beginning because I chose to go on wax, and it was a little bit dry snow at the beginning, so it was really slow on the downhills. But I believe that I will have good skis and good body at the end. So it felt better after a while. So I tried to go hard when it was like 20 kilometers left or something, and I got the gap for the others, and I managed to hold it all the way. So it felt really good. So of course I'm really happy. It was a really nice race also. So.
And congratulations, first of all, Johan, with the Swix Ski Classics Championship this year. How has this season been?
Just been a fantastic season. Yeah, I can't almost believe it that we have done it so good, and this is give us a big motivation for the next year. And now we know what to do and know how to train, and yeah, we will try to fight like hard also next year.
Well, here she is, Charlotte Callett, about to add to her ever-growing CV. It's going to be a Swedish 1-2 here in Sweden, in Åre. Who better to win it than this lady, Charlotte Callett. Everybody here is gathered on the finishing line to get a piece of the action, to get a photograph of this lady, already famous in this part of the world, and that is going to grow even further. What a race she's had, 61 kilometers, still going strong. And as we've seen on plenty occasions on this lady's face, doesn't matter what pain she's going through, she still has enough determination to see it through.
And now we're going to see a big, big smile soon here when she has passed the finishing line.
Well, she's a very popular skier here. You can hear the spectators just beginning to warm their hands. A fantastic day at the office for this lady. She had a lot of competition out there today, and she's fended off all of them. Serena Bonnet as well as Niskanen and Emma Viken have all been dispatched by Charlotte Kalla, and she is another worthy winner here of the llsloppet 2014. Victory is sweet for Sweden, a 1-2 for the male and the females. And she is going to do it in well under 3 hours and 15 minutes. There's the smile that we've been accustomed to seeing on many occasions now in her career. Charlotte Kalla of Sweden. She looks tired, but there is the smile that we've so been accustomed to seeing. And here is the second place finish. Kertta Niskanen of Finland for Team Centric, 56.5 seconds behind the winner. And what a race she's had, the Finn, fully deserved.
And on the third place now is coming Britta Johansson, done a fantastic race, because she's the only girl in this top now that has double pole the whole way, and that for one stage in the race we was thinking that maybe she's gonna win too, because she has such a good glide. But good race, 2 minutes and 37 seconds behind Charlotte Kalla.
Well, two of the skiers here who made late entries here to Åre have got themselves on the winners' podium. Kalla as well as Niskanen. Now looking at Serena Bonnet of Switzerland. Well, not good enough today to get herself another third, second or first place finish, but good enough to get herself a fourth place finish. And look at the Viken in there. She was nowhere to be seen, Emma Viken. Good enough to get fifth. So 3 out of 5 here, all made late entries to the women's race. And that is what made it a very competitive field today, and the best women's race so far of all the venues and the Swix Ski Classics races.
So with me here I have Charlotte Kalla, today's winner of llsloppet. So tell us about your race, Charlotte. How has it been?
Oh, it was fun to race today. It was me, Kerto and Serena for a long time, and then Britta came along in the downhill, and then we tried to keep the others behind, and in the long downhill, me and Kerto realized that we had better speed under our skis than Serena, so we tried to keep her behind. And then with maybe 8 kilometers to go, I was like, I should try to follow the guys, but it was a hard work to do alone the last kilometers.
So with me here I have Serena Bonner, this year's Swix Ski Classics champion. Congratulations, Serena.
Thank you very much.
So how was your race today?
It was good in the hills, especially. Then it was really fun to ski with Charlotte and Kertu. They are of course really good and pushed hard there, and then I lost them in the long downhill down to Duvet, and felt on one side that my skis had not so good glide in the warmer, and it was of course getting warmer towards the end, but I also had no power left in the double poling. I felt that I could not really train as I wanted since llsloppet in that way, so it was just to kind of come to the finish somehow, and I'm just really glad that I have the yellow jersey also at the end of the season, and it has been a great one.
So there is the classified final results for the men's. Daniel Rickerson of Sweden, 2 Norwegians in the top 4, and Stanislav Rezak, his best result of the season. Just when his team Centric needed him to step up to the plate, he did exactly that, the Czech skier. And there are the official standings of the race here, the llsloppet. Charlotte Kalla of Sweden in first, and then we have the Finn Niskanen in second. And here's the winner. There it is. The winners, team-wise, Team United Bakeries, 780 points. Again, 643 for John Christian Dahl. And Simon Østensen of Team Centric, 581. Wow, what a season it has been for Team United Bakeries. What an effort, fantastic. Serena Barnett, of course, 790 points despite the fact that she didn't win here today, ahead of Lila Kveli of Team Centric, having to make do with the wooden spoon, as well as 650 points, and Suzanne Nyström, also of Team Centric of Sweden, in third place, 1 point under 500. Oh, what a picturesque scene it is here on the finishing line in Åre. It's been a wonderful 2014 Swix Ski Classics, and what a place to end it. Just gives us food for thought and a lot of thirst for much more this time next year in 2015. For myself, Errol Creary, as well as Krista Skoog, leave you with the highlights package here of all the movers and shakers and all the skiers. We really do hope you've enjoyed our coverage in 2014. And many thanks for doing just that. So once again, we'll say goodbye. Let's hope to have you join us once again next year for another instalment of the Swix Ski Classics, but from Åre here in the north of Sweden. Farewell and goodbye for now.